Miami Police Chief Jorge Colina giving his final interview today as the Magic City's top cop.
And he's talking about the lessons he has learned during his tenure, and he has some advice for his successor. Local 10's Christina Vasquez live with more on this. Christina.
You have that exactly right. It's official. His last day is Friday, and tonight he is giving some advice to his successor. On his last week as Miami's chief of police, we sit down with Jorge Colina, who reflects on his 3 years in the post, the last of which involved guiding the department through a pandemic, with concerns spanning keeping staff safe.
I would literally be up at night thinking, what can I do? You know, how do we do this? How do I separate officers? I was ultimately pleased with the things that we were able to do.
To safeguarding the lives of residents with new normal rules enforcement.
You gotta make sure you cover your full face.
Try to educate people the best you can, because people are struggling. People have lost jobs, people have become ill. We gotta find that really delicate balance.
Another balancing act, last summer's March for Racial Equity.
Black Lives Matter!
Working to protect the First Amendment rights of demonstrators while curtailing property damage, telling his officers at the time.
Let's recognize that this is a watershed moment. Let's recognize that some of these acts are in fact horrific. Let's be mindful that if someone wants to lash out, it's not me, Jorge Colina, it's not you, Boomer. You know, it's the uniform that they're not pleased with right now. And so don't take it personal.
His advice for the person the city manager will pick as his successor is to lead with compassion.
What they should be thinking from day one is don't forget that you are a public servant.
And as this 30-year law enforcement career comes to a close, he expressed gratitude for his colleagues and the community.
I do feel like I was meant to be here during this time. I do feel that. And so I'm glad that
And so he says he's glad that he was. He said the deputy chief will serve as interim until the city manager makes a final decision on who will be the next chief of police. We have more on that on local10.com. Reporting live for you, I'm Christina Vasquez, Local 10 News.
Tough shoes to fill. All right, thank you, Christina.